Hello, everyone. Just thought I'd do a little bit of a pop-up live stream. So, just usually late at night, I'm usually building or trying to do a few bits and pieces. So I thought, oh, why not just put it out there on the interwebs and see who else might want to be out there having a bit of a chat or a follow along. So these are just going to be random whenever I sort of feel like doing them. I have no real ideas or anything. Might just go for an hour or so and see what happens. See if anyone pops along. And yeah, just a few little sets. The Lego Ideas vintage car, Miles Morales little Spiderman one, and maybe even one of the other hot rods. I'll just sort of see how things are going and how we get on with everything there. So hope everyone is having a good evening. Again, these are just going to be really informal, so might just be messing around with stuff. But if you've got any questions or anything like that, take it from there. What else we got going? We should just check the sound, see if that's working okay. How are we getting on with the sound? Is that working? And hello to Lego Boy. Hope that you're having a good evening. Just doing a little bit of building here, not much going on. How's things with you? Wondering is the sound working? You hear the sound? Have I managed to pause that? It's done, it's live. Why am I not hearing anything? Joys of technical difficulties. Just have to move this. Do a quick little sound check while I'm at it. Hey Jazz, how's it going? Hope that you're having a good evening. Thought I'd jump on and stream for a little bit. How's your building project getting on? Saw some sort of update recently or something. I think it was it on Instagram? Looked like you got the first floor up or something. Or the formwork for the what do you call it? The second one. Just test the sound. Okay, that sound seems to be working okay. Excellent. It's great to hear that you're doing well. Hopefully, being New Year and everything, try to get along to the meet this week. Hope that you and the family are going well as well. Yes, usual problems, but we're handling it. Excuse me. Well, it wouldn't be construction if you didn't have a problem, so. You're still finding with COVID and everything like that, getting supplies is a bit tricky, or is that sort of starting to normalize out a little bit more? All right then, Jazz. Yep, no, that's cool. And thanks for popping by. A few little comments on that. Hope that you have a good evening. And yeah, hopefully we can catch up a little bit later on in the week. Let's just see what else we got. Okay. Which one am I doing? Yes, they might do this one here. Let's just see. Pop that one in there. That. Main light is up there. Just plug that in a little bit. What do we go? What do we go? What do we go? Let's slide that just slightly forward. That's not the video. More video there. Ooh. Sticker sheet. And hello. A few people just joined in. Welcome along. Just doing a bit of an informal pop-up building stream. Starting off with this gift with purchase vintage car promo. Came recently. Let's see. That one there. Got everything. Happening just there. Cut your trusty bowls. I started that yet. Let's get that going. Never know sometimes with time lapse whether or not it's working. Hopefully you're all having a good evening, good morning. If you're down under or somewhere in that part of the world. Nice feel for the car. I was trying out a new speakers and headphones and things, so hopefully a microphone. Hopefully this is working. You can hear me okay. it is, you're probably hearing lots of rustling of Lego bags at the moment. That should be all for now. Okay. A bit of a blurb about designer, I think. Fan competition. That's where this car has come from. And what's this? I've always had a great passion for Lego bricks. It started when I was a boy, and I just never really grown out of it. My Lego passion was reignited when I had my son, as I remembered all my childhood memories with Lego sets, and it's stayed with me ever since. When I build now, I do mostly without a building instruction. For me, it's a great way to be creative and a little touch of fun and imagination in my everyday together with my family. And it goes on a bit more with that. So, I'll do this down here. There. Got a little minifigure. And the lady. Open up this side now for the main course. So down brackets with the up brackets. Got the front. I think welcome along to people there. I can see that some people watching. Maybe just lurking there in between winding down for Sunday or winding up for Monday. Sort of do a informal pop-up little build. Let's get through a couple of these smaller little sets I got floating around. Let's start off with the gift with purchase vintage car one first. It's always interesting how they do cars. They always seem to start off very different ways. I'm guessing that depending upon the designer, they'll have their own little ways of how they like to get cars started and the frame. Welcome along, Bricky Ty. Hope that you're having a good evening as well. Yeah, going pretty well. One of those things this Sunday night. Let's do a little bit of building before go to bed and start the week. What are you up to at the moment? How's your Sunday been? Trying to remember. I think a couple hours ago on Emma Source's stream. Is it you there having a chat with? What was? Just trying to remember which. I think it was with Tech. It's about the Spiderman stuff. I can't remember. I'm sure it was something. Yeah, all good. All good. Built the Lego Technic Jeep Wrangler. Nice little entry level, just winding down now, ready for work in the morning. Ah, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, no, I've seen that little Wrangler. That looks like a good little one. Probably something to try to pick up at some stage. And welcome along, Brexish. Hope that you're going well. And hello to Juan as well. This is just a little random pop-up building sort of little session. Just want to try to just do a little bit of building each night, and figured might as well turn the camera on, and if anyone pops along, pops along. Just looking at all the bit of the sets which I haven't built yet. So I gotta start trying to get through them and build them. And then, oh, is Brixish stalking you, Bricky Tie? One other challenge for you. I bet you won't draw my current profile pic on a video or stream. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I generally stay away from profile pics and minifigs or sig figs and things unless somebody really asks for us, like a commission or something like that. And Brixis, I know I need to get building some sets. Yeah, just otherwise it just seems like I've got a few boxes and things piling up, and I had a look at it, and there's a couple of Technic sets I've had for quite some time, which I need to get through and get built. But each one of those is probably 10 to 15 hours at least, and particularly the way that I build them, they'll be longer. Matt, you're doing the mods to the promo that Belvin Bricks did. Didn't even realize that there were some. Can you elaborate on that a bit further? Because I've heard the surfboard falls off pretty easily. But I mean, if there's some good ones out there, certainly do it. I always like to just try to build the set first to see, what it's like, and the official version of it, and then we can go from there. Like modding that recent Iron Man helmet and things. That was I still can't get over that Iron Man helmet. That's just how bad that is. I mean, that's the other nice thing with Legos, because of the way that it is. If things aren't quite right on the internet these days, the community will generally figure it out. And it's kind of cool because it can extend the life and fix the problems. Bricksish, I'd love to build a huge Technic set, even though it would probably drive me crazy. Yeah, I think it's probably the sort of thing where start with smaller sets just to get a bit more of a flavor of it and how the instructions go, and just having to really take your time with it. Because it's not like system sort of stuff where if you make a mistake with it, you can pull a few pieces apart and fix it. Usually, the way the pins go and everything like that, it's going to take you a while to go back. I've been meaning. The other thing I was thinking of doing is just doing some vintage Technic set streams, uh, like stuff from the '80s and things, where the builds were much simpler, so it's easier to understand. But again, always time. Brigitte, yeah, he done a little video on it. Just a few little tweaks. I'm going to build it first and then see. LOL. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, definitely. Thanks for mentioning that. I wasn't even aware of it. So definitely have to check that out, because that's the other thing I like doing too with sets is, you do the first build, and at least when I was younger, sets would always have a B and C model and things. So you're encouraged to pull the things apart and rebuild them and things. Whereas now, I mean, even the big Technic sets barely come with a B model. Um, Bridges don't do the crane. Don't what you're poking your eyes out. I think, yeah, I think with that crane, step 42, make sure you get the pin in the right place. The Exorcist Crane, yeah. There's nothing more fun than making a fool of yourself and for the world to see, and everybody remembers it. That's cool, man. I guess it's that sort of thing where you don't have to worry about Technic even tripping up people who've kind of versed in it or used to it. So it's always a challenge. Uh, Bridges, I've built the Scout Trooper bike, and that had me. Yeah, it's interesting because I have a tendency to gravitate towards the larger sets, whether it's Technic or modulars or whatever it is. Um, so nothing where you won't have change out of 5, 6, 12 hours. So it's always nice just to do, what I would call a quick little set, like something like the cars and things like that. I mean, certainly when my youngest was first getting into Lego, we get some of the cars and vehicles and things, and just being kids, like a 3-year-old or whatever, just break them up and that. So you're constantly having to rebuild it and things. So you got to learn very quickly where all the different bits went and everything. So that if it ever fell apart, you just can quickly pick up the missing bits, know exactly where they go. Um, Now, if they fall apart, it's like, you're old enough, you can do it yourself. Find the instructions. Cool little technique on the front fender, tipping things upside down. Okay. If I move that out of the way, can you guys see that a bit better? Let's put this bowls in the way. Bricky tie, I think my next big technique set is going to be the Porsche, the white one, not the orange one. Can't afford that. Yeah, the prices on the secondary market recently have just gone crazy. Um, I managed to get the Porsche a couple of years ago, secondhand. And it does have the box, and the box is in really good condition. The instructions are in good condition. And I think it was about £75. Whereas if you try to get the same thing today, it's like 200 and something. Um, and that's just for starters. And then, of course, with the release of the Ninjago Gardens, um, the Ninjago City, and also the docks, those those have it feels like they've almost doubled in the last couple of weeks. So both of those sort of saw in the store at the time and passed over them. So it's like, yeah. Briggs, just be right back. Okay, cool. See you in a bit when you come back. There are some really interesting building techniques with this one. I know it's a fan design. I'd be curious to see the original. I'll have to try and dig it out. See how similar it is or how different it is. Um, Pop that on there. And welcome along to everyone that's popping in, sort of lurking there. Feel free to say hi or g'day in the chat. Bricky Tie, sorry. I think I'm going to do a mock cars like that one, more challenging than huge ones. Really need to experiment with parts. Yeah. And certainly look at people who do Macropolis buildings and things like that. And that's all about the parts and what you choose to use. How you use hooks and clips and roller skates and all sorts of cool things. Makes you think about the parts very differently. And there's a couple of people that I know, particularly through the London AFOLs, when they go to do mocks and things like that. Just the way that they use parts and things, it's pretty phenomenal. And you can see that they just get parts and they'll just sit there and just play with them and experiment. Or I probably go a little bit the other way, particularly with Technic things. It's like, can you just get the thing thing to work when I'm doing mocks? Can you get the thing and the gears to work, and have it so that it's not grinding itself, and try to optimize some of the building and construction. And Bricky Tie, what is there any specific cars or models or anything that you're trying to do, or are you just messing around with some parts, have some ideas? Mm. That's the back. Cool. Bricky Tie, I try and do mostly 4x4 style vehicles with trailers, as I used to own the Land Rover, more my style, monster trucks too. Okay. Cool. So yeah, pickup trucks and yeah, that would explain the Jeep. Is there the that new Jeep one that I think that does have a B model, does it? If it is, let us know what it is, and do you think that you'll give it a shot, or are you quite happy with the way that the Jeep turned out so far? Because that's the thing with the smaller sets, at least if you are trying to do the B models and things, taking them apart doesn't take that long. I know I've done, was it the Crane from a few years ago? Not the red one, but the previous yellow one. And I had to take that apart. Um, I think that took the better part of about 3 hours. It's crazy. Like taking it apart and actually having sorting the pieces out as you go along. If I didn't sort them, it'd probably take a little bit less, but seems about right there. Bricky Tie, no, it doesn't have a B model, but someone on Rebreakable has one that looks cool. Gonna buy another and do rather that than break my Jeep down. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's one which got the Mustang, and the number of B models on Rebreakable is quite amazing, and there's some really cool ones on there which I want to try out. That's the that creator expert Mustang. But was thinking possibly streaming that in the next couple of days if I start doing that one. Although I've still got the Jurassic T-Rex with the gates and things. I need to do that because when I picked it up from Argos, when it was on sale before Christmas, the bag or the box was actually opened. So I'm a little. I flagged it at the time. They wouldn't swap the box over for one which wasn't, but they were just sort of like, well, if you build it and there's an issue, then we'll just do a refund or whatever. So, but I've only got, I think, till about the 31st of January to figure that out. So I might need to do that soon. And Bricky Tie, oh god, yeah, I want to do the 2020 style Mustang with mine one day. Okay, so you do have the Mustang. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's that, and then somebody's done like a 1950s pickup truck with it. There's even on Rubrical, I think somebody had done um, like an 8-in-1 pack. Like there's 8 different vehicles that they've made over a period of time. So like the Mustang, and that's all cool and everything. But I just looked at it and went, once I started seeing all the B models that people are doing, it's like actually I'm probably more excited about the B models. Probably why it's been in a bit of a box for a while. Although I have seen some people, I guess a bit more of the purists and things. It's like, why would you want to downgrade it and make it into a 2020 Mustang? Which I can understand some of the arguments for that as well. Just out of curiosity, because this is a new mic, is my voice and the sound coming through okay? Does it sound pretty pretty clear, or is it a bit crackly? Be curious to know that. Bricky tight, yeah, sounds good on my laptop. Oh, excellent. Thanks for that. Yeah, sometimes when I'm doing Lego streaming, I'll do it upstairs. What's all that stuff going on? Whereas the art stuff I'll do downstairs and sort of more in where the computer gear and everything is set up. Um, there's always just a bit of a pain bringing up that microphone and things as well. My headset was going, so it's like I'll get one with a built-in microphone just to make it easier. Um, while I'm here, this Saturday, instead of at the same time as the draw stream, is usually just going to actually do a build stream this week. It's got the vintage monorail airport set. I've been wanting to do that for a while, so that won't be one of these pop-up ones. That will be a proper, my usual sort of drawing time between that instead. So should be fun. Details, people in there. That's a pretty funky way to do a door. Brigitte sadly got to go, Matt. Need my beauty sleep, lol. Have a good one, mate, and catch you soon. Yep, no worries. Thanks for stopping by and having a bit of a chat. Good to hang out and hear about the Jeep. And thanks for mentioning the some some mods that have been done to this one. I'll definitely have to check that out and see how that goes. And yeah, hopefully see you around again soon. Enjoy your beauty sleep. So for anyone else out there lurking in the chat, feel free to say good day or hello or whatever. I know there's some people watching. Appreciate you stopping by, spending some time. Just thought I'd do a quick little pop-up, sort of informal type stream. Going to build some stuff anyhow, so might as well just throw the camera on and see if anybody's out there. Catch up with anybody. I'm just building this Lego Ideas vintage car set, which was a promo recently. And I must say the build on it's really different. I mean, being a fan design, I don't know how closely they stuck to the one that was submitted. Some interesting use of parts and the way they're using different snot techniques and things. It's pretty cool. What else we got there? I'm building the front fender. Interesting sort of techniques. Sticker time, sticker time, sticker time, sticker time. I think for this one I'll use a brick separator. Who wants to put a sticker in the middle of a curved piece? Good luck. It's off. And not too bad, not the brilliant, not the worst. The front fender on there. Sides, lights. This teal is such a nice color choice, which I think they only just recently brought back with the bookshop modular from the beginning of 2020. Pretty sure it had been a retired color for quite some time. And since then, they're going a bit berserk with it. But I think in this case, it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I want to put one of the you see that? That's the camera. This skates in a Modify 3x2 to give that front car badge. Just works really well. Now we've got this. Taking a windscreen, put some hooks on it. And they're actually getting the windscreen to go in upside down. It's attached with the hooks, which is a really interesting technique. A&A family, hey, welcome along. How's it going? It's going pretty well. Just doing a little bit of a informal sort of pop-up live stream sort of build. How about you? How are you going? What are you up to this evening, this afternoon? Hope that you've had a good day. Usually sort of been trying to do some builds at night just to get through a few bits and pieces. I thought might as well just turn the camera on and stream it. Maybe there's people out there. Seems like there is. I think there's a few people lurking tonight though. Probably doing other things at the same time, which is cool. What are you up to at the moment? Just building the gift with purchased vintage car. That was the fan designer competition one. And there are some really different and interesting techniques. I think the result that it's giving, yeah, pretty sweet. And hello to Brickfella, nice to have you along. Hope that you're going well. How are you? What are you up to at the moment? I mean, obviously just cruising around, having a look at some YouTube content. I'm glad you stopped by here. A&A, good to hear. Our live stream this morning got deleted by YouTube for violating community standards. Oh wow! Do you know why? They give you any sort of indication or anything like that? And welcome along to Mr. Hinkle. Hope that you're going well. And what is this? This is just like an impromptu pop-up Lego building stream. Just want to try to get through a few bits and pieces, and thought, well, might as well turn the camera on and see if anybody's out there. Looks like there's a few people just popping around and things. So good chance to get through just a few of the smaller little bits and pieces. Um, and hey, I'm an anybody. Well, where can we Seinfeld that? It's sort of like, no, you're not just an anybody, you're a somebody. But definitely not a nobody. Uh, welcome along, Kevin. Always great to have you in the streams. Um, and A&A, yeah, I'd be interested with the what's going on with the violating thing, because most of the time it's got to do with bots and things. I had a what was it, a 1 minute short. Um, I think it was how what was it? How to color Mario, which got picked up for violating community standards. Um, and when that happens, you could go through and you just appealed it. Um, you put in, well, I just put in that I didn't thought that it violated the community standards. I'll give you a link to what it is. I mean, it's all the things that, not using pornography and excessive violence, or, violence to kids or, all that sort of stuff. So I did that, and about 12 hours later, um, that basically then put the because they age restricted it, which I thought was hilarious. It's like you're restricting me telling someone how to color in a Super Mario. It's like, um, but I think it's the sort of thing where it's something crazy. Like every minute, there's 500 hours of content uploaded to YouTube, so they have to use bots. Um, oh, okay, A&A, what we got? Yes, I my dad left my son on his own, and there's no minors stream by themselves. Ah, okay. All right, right. Yep, yep. No, I mean, obviously with Cobra and things from last year or whenever that came in, um, they're a little bit more hardcore and that sort of thing. So um, I know I don't stream with the kids generally. I think there's been one time on somebody else's stream, but that's because no, it was on mine. Um, but I mean, on the one hand, that's good because then you know that, well, if kids are going to be streaming by themselves, it's not going to be allowed. Um, and Rick Frailer, turning on the computer to start my weekly consuming of Lego streaming. Well, I'm glad that you were able to stop by here and hopefully get something interesting out of it. Appreciate that. Um, yeah, there's a lot of choice out there at the moment, put it that way. And Mr. Hinkle draws nonsense. Yeah, it's and it was funny because then I think a couple of days after that coloring in one got picked up, there's another short 1 minute how to do something or other. I think it was much the same. Maybe it was Among Us. Anyhow, I appealed that, and um, that got the age restriction lifted in about 20 seconds. So I think, mm, going off a straw poll sample size of one, so read into it what you will. I think if you get picked up by a bot and you successfully appeal, and then you get picked up another time and you appeal it, then they might fast track you through or something like that. So, I mean, I get it. If there's so much content, there's no way somebody can humanly verify it. So they've got to come up with bots of some description. Uh, but I always find it funny with my drawing live streams. Um, some of those after the fact will get age restricted. I just have no idea how that's working. Um, and I mean, it's the sort of thing I've never really particularly gone through to sort of try to figure out what's going on with those. Because I mean, you probably feel much the same. Like after the fact, you will get some people watching it afterwards, but it's not like one of those things you put up and it's going to tenfold itself. Um, and I managed to catch your 5-minute summary on your stream from the other day, Kevin. It's always good to see those. It was kind of funny because I think obviously I did the fire topic as well, and there was a fire for Beavis and Butthead, and I'd seen that like when you'd done it live, but then going back through and watching it, uh, then also picking up on the fact that it was Brett who recommended it, which I think he recommended it for mine as well, which is probably why we both ended up doing it. So that was a little bit. I don't know. It's silly little details that don't mean anything. Still, I was just thinking, what's the chances of somebody else mentioning that, and then it actually turns out to be the same person. So it was cool just to see. I don't think there was as much overlap with the fire topic as what there was with the ice one in terms of doing similar drawings. Um, and I was a little, no, I wouldn't say completely surprised, but I didn't get a request for that Bernie meme on my stream last night. I was thinking somebody would have picked it up and said, "Hey, can you do this in Lego?" So it's kind of mentally prepared to do that, and then nobody mentioned it. And I think I even mentioned it during the stream too. So, um, uh, just think now you're making me want to go check my streams and see if any of that nonsense. Yeah, it's when you go into your YouTube studio, when you go into your live, and you've got all of them listed there. I think it'll be like the third or fourth column across. It will say age restricted or something like that. Usually, when they do it, you'll get an email straight away saying, "Hey, look, we've age restricted your video or something." I think maybe that's only on the uploads. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I can never figure it out. Sometimes I think the streams have been my streams have been like incredibly family friendly and there's been no innuendo or anything weird and things like that, and they'll still get picked up. It's like I don't understand this. Um, any family, yeah, we had to turn off the made for kids settings so our friends could chat. Yeah, I know it's been weird, that sort of thing. Look, I get it in terms of the FCA needed to act and YouTube responded the way they would, and throwing people under the bus and all the rest of it. Um, but certainly our content has kind of shifted a bit away from the kids sort of side of things. But then it's really interesting because our kids, will watch a lot of the Minecraft videos, like people going through and playing it, and they've got subscriber counts in the millions. And the way that they present the videos, and the way that they're talking, that it's all obviously targeted at kids. But then because they've got the comments turned on and all the rest of it, it's obvious that they're not setting it the made for kids. So it's kind of like, well, if you've got a Minecraft channel and they've got 10 million subscribers and they're saying, and it's that high energy, geared at kids, talking, having fun, whoa, blah, 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 blah. And they're saying it's not for kids. Like, how does that work? Um, Mr. Hinkle just checked that I got nothing for age restrictions, but 2 copyright claims on an older stream where I still had music playing in the background. Um, yeah, I'm just trying to think. I've had 2 copyright claims. One was when I first uploaded it, like I just did a pab wall video, just for local people, just to sort of, going along with the camera, up and down all the walls, just so that people can sort of see it. And it was in the Lego store was in a shopping center, and the shopping center outside was playing music. And it was really faint, and it picked up that music in the background. Um, so I just deleted that video because I hadn't launched it yet, and then just re-uploaded it with a generic YouTube sort of thing. But yeah, ever since I did that, I just never, um, most of those sorts of videos, I'll strip out the original track because it's just a pain. Um, and then what was the other one? I did a brick building live stream, and I showed. I think it was Steve Reynolds. He was talking about somebody in Australia who had done a fantastic bat cave, and he actually shared his screen and then played a video of them going through and doing like a thing on their bat cave and everything like that made out of Lego. But the video was chopping and jumping and everything, and after about 20 seconds, I just completely killed it. And then I got a copyright claim from that, um, which I then just went through and said, this is actually fair use from a review and all that sort of stuff, and they took it off. Because I have tried to what was it? I think it was the winter 72-hour stream. There was 3 seconds on my stream which had something in it which I just didn't like, and I tried to edit that out and I couldn't. So I just pulled the whole stream down so it doesn't exist anymore. Um, so even though those tools which say that you can edit the bits out, I think if you've got like a 10-minute video, you can edit the stuff out. But if you've got a stream that goes for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, no, it's not going to happen. Um, which is then really funny because then when Doc did his review of the 72-hour stream, he was basically like, "Oh, I know that Matt had done this drawing stream. Like, where'd it go? It's gone." It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Because I was getting really keen to see, what comments Doc was going to make, and then I'd forgotten it was that stream. But anyhow, uh, and Mr. Hinkledraw from the guy that says go right ahead and use my music as long as you credit below, which I did. Which it's checked. When I still had music playing in the background from the guy that said, "Yeah, okay, yep, no, that makes sense." Yeah, it is just, um, which is yeah, 'cause particularly once I'd started doing those when I was doing the longer versions of the draw streams, and I had a couple of the royalty-free songs on loop and stuff like that because you don't have a great deal of selection. Even though I started to get sick of some of those after a while, so it's a challenge. Um, and even over on Twitch, which is where I think you're pulling your comments from at the moment, um, Twitch has started to run into some problems because obviously with video games and things like that, some of the video game publishers are now claiming copyright over the games and the in-game music and things like that, and it's kind of like, okay, well this could get very interesting because obviously Twitch is more gamer orientated. I think even Amazon uh, changed it from Twitch Prime to Twitch Gaming or something. Um, and then A&A Family, Doc's review is funny. Yeah, no, it was. Have you seen? He did the last 2 days a review of Tech Productions Christmas one. You've got to check it out. It's so funny. Like, Tech was doing a stream at Christmas after he'd had a few to drink. And then you have Doc in the front of it mimicking it. And some of the things that Doc comes out, just seeing, Doc drunk and stuff like that, it's really funny. Like it's probably one of the funny ones that I've seen from Doc, so definitely check that one out. um, I just do one of these little. Um, do I have any of the? I use these horrible things. Do some really basic kind of stop motion sort of things. It's because I'm also just like to record and the speed builds and things in case I ever use them. Yeah, Kevin, I'm quite drunk. Uh, heard about that LOL family. Yeah, Doc has just got such a good sense of humor and the way the timing and delivery and all that sort of stuff. Because I've done a short recently, which is, I think, what was it, the marketing for deciding the 2020 Lego Star Wars lineup. And I happened to have, we found a puppet that the kids um, were about to throw out. Actually, it was the wife, and she was like, "Well, why don't you use this on one of your live streams or something?" So I did that on one, and then actually then tried to just do a short with it, because I always have or think of sometimes the boss of different organizations or whatever. Streams from when I worked with, can't remember, where was that? Was that an advertising company? Um, and we just used to joke because as with a lot of those things, the boss. What's a nice way to say? Didn't have a great deal of respect for them, so we used to always call them the Chief Muppet. And then I think some of the ones under them were Muppets as well. So anyhow, we got this Muppet sort of thing going along with that. And I just always feel that sometimes people in certain positions are just Muppets. So um, from their actually trying to sync up and have lines and do the whole movement and everything, it's actually really, really difficult. Um, Never really fully appreciated just how challenging that was until I tried to do it. Um, and then also too, sort of discovered after a while your hand actually starts hurting. Um, and then going back and watching some of Doc's stuff, it's like, he doesn't actually move the mouth that much. There's probably a reason for that. So the little sort of things that you pick up. Excuse me. Uh, oh, and now Kevin's come across. Yeah, Kevin was on Twitch with making comments, and it's one of those things because it's coming back into StreamYard. I can see the comments, but if you were in YouTube and someone's on Twitch making comments, you won't see it and things. So yeah, that's why if you ANA might be sitting there going, "Where's Kevin coming from?" Yeah, that's right, Kevin, Chief Mark. uh, Probably not doing myself any favors, but anyhow. Okay, I think I got the footage for that. Okay, well. Mr. Inkle Draws, I was over on Twitch already and saw the alert, but since I was alone, I crossed the streams. Yeah, that's the thing which I like about Twitch when people do that, and like your stream in particular. Um, you'll get the alert for it through Twitch, so then I'll come straight over to YouTube and do it. Because sort of thing, if when people are streaming, I kind of want to know about that sometimes, like your streams and Funny Figs and a few of the others. Um, But if you turn notifications on for YouTube, you just get hit with everything every 2 seconds, which I don't like. So um, it's I just wish like on YouTube there was a way that you could control the notifications a lot better. Like if somebody's streaming that you really want to watch, then you can get that in real time as a notification alert on your phone. But otherwise, for certain other ones, just send it through as an email or something. I don't know. So anyhow, the and for those still out there, the vintage car. Actually, really nice build, and the finished product is actually really quite nice as well. Um, so yeah, I think there's an Instagram account. Is it Let Them Fly Lego? He's a huge Batman fan, but he's very good with digital stuff. And he's gotten this and he's styled it out in all different 80s pop culture. So he's done one as a Back to the Future DeLorean, of course, one as a Batmobile. I'm trying to think of the other two. One is a Ghostbusters car. Um, and then Kevin agreed. Yeah, I feel like the alerts are much better organized and executed on Twitch. Yeah. So there we have it. So I'll just put that in there somewhere. How are we going? Quick look, see what time it is. Yeah, I'll do one more. Um, how's your day been anyhow, Kevin? What have you guys been up to? Just chilling with the kids? We had snow again today, so which is yeah unusual for us. We might get it once a year. I think we've now had it twice within a couple of weeks. Usually it's in February, not so much this time of year. Yeah, it's just cool just to get out with the kids in the garden, the backyard. So we did that one. I think we might move on and do the Miles Morales Spiderman, which I think this might be the first time they've done the Miles Morales Spider-Man figure. Um, an easy day for sure, but I've been working here and there. I picked a bunch of orders for contraband. I packed a bunch of orders for contraband Lego artwork. People have been ordering directly. Yeah, I think I'm in your feed seeing that you were currently got some stuff on sale. What was it? Some of your ones for about $1 or something. Um, yeah, by all means, if you want to give a plug to whatever you're doing, Kevin, go for it. That's Kevin does some cool stickers and things, and I think he's got a bit of a sale on at the moment. So if you want some Lego related stickers, then particularly if you're in the US, Kevin is definitely the man to check out there. And Brickfiller, how did you like the convertible build? I really liked it. I thought it was actually a really good build. Maybe because it was a fan design, there's a lot of really interesting techniques and just things which are different. And the way that they've gotten it all together with the parts usage and getting it all together, like even on let's even show the front, that's the light, the front hood. I don't know what you call it. Is it ornament or what would normally be the logo or the car badge? They've managed to do by just basically turning a skate upside down, an ice skate, and putting it into a 2x3 modified with a hole. Um, that probably shows it off a little bit better. So there's just lots of little clever things like that. Um, so I did the other one I've got here from last year is the hot rod, which I've never built. Which got it here because I'm trying to do that at some stage. But this was more one that as soon as I got it, it's like, yeah, no, I actually want to build this. Whereas the hot rod's obviously been like, yeah, I'll get around to it one day, one day, someday. Um, yeah, it's a very cool looking car. I think the way that they've done the use of teal, I mean, and even just little things like the use of those surfboards on the side, given the way that those, I think, 1950s American style cars were done with that cutout lights and things in there. That's really clever. Mr. Hinkle there. So I have it all, trying to sell it all through, but it has to be direct emails, DMs, can't list on Etsy, Psy. So yeah, check Kevin's socials. He'll have some stuff there if you're interested. I think he's doing, he was doing a sale or something on. So yeah, check his stuff. I'm sure I'll figure it out. And Brick Trailer, I agree. The hood ornament was clever as well. And the upside down window screen. Yeah, no, that was the sort of thing when I saw the. See if I can put it up here a bit closer. You've got this windscreen is actually upside down, and it's on some inverted or some 1x1 clips. So that's how it's anchored in. And it just sits down like that, and from the front and everything, it looks really cool. I mean, what do I think from you guys there? Yeah, A&A says cool. And the hood ornament there, good as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go through. I might do a little bit more building. I mean, if any of you guys want to just jump on and have a bit of a chat, I can drop you a link. Probably go for about another 15, 30 minutes. Don't have to. Just throwing it out there if you want to. Yeah. Now that we've done that, might slide that off to one side. Which side's going to be better side? There. And even the first page in the ideas book, it's got a little bit of a blurb about the designer and that there. I read a quick little bit of it, but I'll do the rest a little bit later because I'm not sure that me reading something on the stream and watching other people watching will be all that thrilling. Mr. Hinkle, I can chat while I work. Yep. You want to? I think this is pretty. Where's the invite here? Let's do a copy. I'll throw it in the chat. So if anybody, I think that might be. This could be either stupid or really good. I don't know. It's so if you want to pick it up there, Kevin. Cool. Or Brickfeller A&A, if you want to jump on, have a bit of a chat, you're welcome to. What do we got here? Let's see. Okay, there. One of those done there. Oh, and here we have coming in to have a chat with us, Mr. Hinkle. Kevin, how are you going?
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hopefully you can
cool.
hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, which is good because I've just got a new headset and I wasn't too sure about the volume. So, yeah, it's working, so I can hear you. So that's good.
Yeah, good. Nice.
So, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, what you working on, or is it just sort of top secret, confidential?
Nothing I do is top secret unless I'm working on somebody else's thing and they want it to be top secret. Yeah, so I'm doing some Pokemon stuff. which this year is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, and so obviously they're doing a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to ride the hype wave while I can.
With that,
So
how do you? Because you're usually ahead with some of that stuff, and I always admire that about you. Like, yeah.
Not always. Hey, that just means I'm really good at faking it.
Kevin, it's the art thing. You're not supposed to say otherwise. You just go, yes, of course, I'm brilliant.
It was deliberate. It's deliberate.
Because then the next thing is, it's like, how do you do that? How do you keep up? How do you get ahead of everything?
So here's something here's a real thing. All of last year, in my notebook, I kept writing down when I noticed stuff was happening. For example, like Star Trek Day, I didn't know there was a Star Trek Day, but Star Trek Day happened and Star Trek was all over it. And there was a bunch of like content. There was stuff all over social media. And I was like, okay, all right, Star Trek Day is a thing. So I wrote in my notebook, like, Star Trek Day is this day. And I did that all year. I wrote down Star Trek Day, Batman Day. There's a Bionicle Day.
There's a Mario Day.
Yeah, there's Mario Day in March, obviously. And so I just kept writing all those down, and I did that last year. So hopefully this year I can have stuff, all those things. We'll see if I can make good on that. But so that's how I've been doing it. Is I'm mostly reacting. But now that we're in a new year, it looks like I'm proactively planning.
Yeah, because even last year, it's sort of like with the Inktober and things like that. It's like, oh, that's genius. And then as you're doing it, and it's like, actually, well, last year I did blah blah blah. It's like, okay, yeah,
yeah, nope.
Because we were sort of doing a bit the same with this year with. Last year, the Elf on the Shelf sort of thing. Yeah, sure, we're putting the content out daily, but the main idea was to wrap it up, and we'll release that as like a full-on video in, say, October, because that's when people start looking for that sort of content. And so, like, well, to try to do all those little Elf on the Shelf things and film it and before the kids do it or anything like that, it's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Like, a nice idea, but yeah, not quite.
It is kind of nice when stuff just kind of by happenstance lines up. I'll admit that is a really rewarding feeling where it's like, I didn't plan it that way, but man, does it look like I did.
Yeah, no, it's cool, because that's always been the sort of thing, because you've got just such a narrow, from what I can see, just such a narrow window of time to really capitalize on it. And I really noticed it a lot more this year. Like last year or the previous year, I'd done my own little custom, pumpkin, how to, basically do a little pumpkin out of Lego, which they didn't really have, because previous years I'd gone through and it's like, well, I want to do something for the kids. And you'd have like your really, really basic kind of, half a dozen bricks type thing. And so it doesn't, so I'd managed to release it for like the previous year, and it did some views. But then this year, I noticed it went absolutely berserk at the beginning of October. So it went from 500 views to like 3,000 in a matter of weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, and the funniest thing then was, I think last week, somebody had posted up on Instagram a kinetic sculpture, like ATA Darth Vader minifigure walking an AT-AT. So it's just a little tiny one or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, that's cool. I'll go and check this person out. And I'm scrolling through, and I get to their October feed. And because I basically put the instructions out on Rebrickable just for free, but I had actually done a picture of their version. They've obviously taken the instructions, downloaded it, and they had it sitting on a beach with a light in it and everything like that. And it was just such a random happenstance, because I just looked at it, and because of what it is, there's nothing else quite like it. So it's like, I know that's my design, or very close to it. And it's just one of those things to randomly see it and come across it like that. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Just enough to be like, wait a tick.
Well, it's the sort of thing like I've always been in two minds. It's so like I go through and do the instructions for it a lot of the time, just so that if the model ever gets broken down or the kids smash it or drop it or whatever, then I've at least got some way of getting back to it. And it's sort of like I'll just put it up online, and I've thought about charging for it, but then it's a matter of like I don't want to be supporting this, like in terms of people going, oh, this step doesn't quite work, or this isn't 100% clear, because it's sort of like, yeah, the instructions are good enough, but it's not like
I get you.
Lego
Yeah.
standard good enough. And certainly I know sometimes when I've built off other people's mocks, designs and things like that, and you get to some parts of the instructions, like I have no idea what you're trying to get us to do here.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it definitely makes you sit there and think like, you know what? There is actually something to this product development that this Danish company does, huh?
Yeah. Oh, look, there's a whole art to that instruction thing. So,
Yeah.
Like, you know when you've gone through and seen good instructions, and just getting the software to do it. Like obviously Lego's got their own custom one, which makes it a lot easier and things. But if you're putting bricks on top of bricks, that's quite easy to do in instructions. But as soon as you want to spin stuff around or do sub assemblies and things, it gets a lot more tricky.
Oh yeah, we go off the rails real quick.
So, the other thing I was going to ask you probably covered it, or if you don't want to talk about it, that's cool. Obviously, there's the whole thing with monorail and everything like that. Is the patent sort of owned by a third party, or does Lego own it, or do you know the status on any of that?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
It wasn't the company, because there was a third party company involved. Wasn't that like, didn't that go bankrupt? Like, don't they not exist anymore? I think.
I have no idea. I've just heard about there's potentially a third party involved or something or other. And whenever I've done research or trying to get to the bottom of it, I can never find anything actually on it. It seems to just be more hearsay. So I'm just
there definitely is, or there definitely was a third party. I think that third party went out of business. I think, which is one of many main reasons why it was discontinued back then.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't the only reason, but it was one of the reasons, because it's like there was a third party involved, and then that third party kind of went out of business, and I was like, well, this is making things complicated. But yeah. I have no idea who owns anything as of today.
Okay. Yeah. No. It's again, it's just one of those sorts of things. I thought maybe you might know something, because I've never been able to nail anything down on it. And next week I was going to do, rather than the draw stream, just a monorail build stream. So I thought,
oh my goodness,
find out what's going on.
That's the theme. The theme is monorail.
Yeah.
Oh
no, I'm actually doing rather than do the draw stream in the same time slot, I'm going to do like a monorail build.
Okay. I was like, wow, a whole stream dedicated to monorails.
Yes, I've lost my marbles and I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
I'm still a little worried because as I've said before, I am 100% committed to doing a hands stream, and I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I feel like in my mind, I can think like, oh, you could suggest like Homer, and then that's like a hand that has 4 fingers and they're very sausagey and it's yellow, and you can request like one of Mickey Mouse's gloved hands, and then like after that, I'm like, I guess everything else is just a regular hand, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's the sort of thing. It's not until you actually get in and start seeing suggestions. I mean, the thing off the top of my head would have been, somebody doing a peace sign, somebody doing an okay sign.
Oh, see, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of like what the hands are doing. I was like, that actually makes me feel more optimistic about a good viewing experience.
Yeah. I guess it's much like the robots one. It's going to be a question of where you draw the line with hands in terms of what they might be doing, or
I don't know. For some
really
reason,
need to-
I'm thinking the worst. For some reason, I don't know why I'm thinking, but
Yeah, as soon as I said that, it's sort of like, this is coming out wrong. How do I take words back? Where's the undo here? It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Where's the undo for speaking? Yeah, but I think it'll be. I'm just hoping. Like so far, the times that I've done some of these streams, that I honestly feel uncomfortable, and if it doesn't show, then perfect. But like the architecture stream, very uncomfortable. The vehicles stream that I did last year, very uncomfortable. The nature stream, very uncomfortable. Those end up producing some pretty good stuff. So but
yeah,
it's
no,
like,
it's
the whole time I'm like super nervous and like, this is gonna be terrible.
like it's the sort of thing where I find that like hard to believe when you say it. It's almost like, well, had you not said it, then nobody would really have noticed. So
Yeah.
and just hold on with that. And welcoming in A&A family. Hello, you there? There's this.
There's a void.
Something's-
I see a void.
Yeah, it's just interesting because it's coming up as a void there, but in the green room, it's actually showing. Oh no, it might just be a bit of lag between the green room and.
Oh, there we go. I see.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hello.
Hey, how you going?
Good.
Excellent, excellent. I don't think I've ever been on the same stream with you. I don't think.
I don't believe we have. I was with Mr. Hinkle last night, I believe.
Yep. Last night on Reed's stream, or no, Hoosiers stream.
Yeah, Hoosiers.
They blend together sometimes. It's like all the streams.
Particularly at the moment. Then I'm guessing then you're based somewhere in the U.S.
Yes, I'm in Kentucky.
Ah, okay, cool. Because I was just trying to think, is there? So you're not then A&A Hobbies? That's somebody else again.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh wow,
okay,
really?
okay.
That is a coincidence.
Yeah, because I think A&A Hobbies. I can't remember whether they're UK or they're Canadian. Because again, it's one of those sorts of things you're kind of aware of somebody else, but you never had the chance to stream with them. So, cool, excellent. Well, thanks for popping on and just have a bit of a chat and things.
Thanks for having me.
No.
Let's get a party going in here.
Yeah, I was just sort of wanting to do some of these more informal. It's sort of like, oh, I'm just doing something. I'll turn the camera on and see if anybody or somebody or nobody is out there.
I thought it was to be honest, I thought it might be a glitch. I'm like, why is Twitch telling me that Matt's live? I was like, that's weird. He's not. Why would he be live?
Why would he be live? And somebody else has just decided to pop in, and that is Brickfella. How you going?
How's it going?
Look at this.
Yeah,
This is confirmation, Matt. We're going 24-hour stream starting now.
Well, I've kind of like I've kept things so informal that my laptop actually isn't currently plugged in. So it's sort of like, at least until the laptop battery dies, then if I get like a 5% notice warning.
That's awesome.
You get like one second to turn it off before it actually powers on itself.
Good time.
Usually it's a couple minutes, but then it's sort of like, okay, you can always tell. Usually, particularly on a Friday when I stream with London Bridge Bricks, usually about an hour and a half in my screen, I'll have to turn it off while I run downstairs and grab the power cable because it's run out.
We used to always make fun of all the people in corporate meetings when they, have their laptop plugged into the projector, and then you get the little like, this machine will power off in 3 minutes. Like, here we go. Look at the newbie up here.
Brickfella, whereabouts are you based?
I'm on the west coast of the United States. I'm in California.
West Coast, Best Coast.
Right.
Oh, awesome. Well, thanks for jumping on.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to jump in.
No, of course. It's that's the other interesting thing with this time is that can catch more, I guess, the Americans as such, particularly the West Coast, because I suppose it's more Sunday sort of evening, afternoon for you guys at the moment.
The only time I get to play with Lego.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'm stressing out at work or chasing my 4-year-old around.
And just
so
for
you've
the
got
record, I'm not American.
okay. Sorry, where are you from then?
No, I'm actually British. I've been in Kentucky for 30 years.
Oh wow,
Oh wow, so,
that's awesome.
and you still consider yourself British. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, legally I am. Haven't been back in 20 years. We were supposed to go back this summer for one of my cousins was getting married, but the whole COVID pandemic just ruined everything. So,
That threw a wrench into the machine.
yeah, canceled the entire trip and the wedding.
Yeah. Well, I like to think that some of, particularly the area I live in, it's called Kent, and it's sort of like we joke. It's sort of like Kent is now twinned with Wuhan because it seems like all the nasty variants and everything originate from somewhere around here. So it's probably a good thing you didn't come. So are you then dual citizen with the States?
I am not. I've got a permanent residency over here. I have a green card. My wife's American. My kids will have the option of dual citizenship, I believe.
Okay.
Nice.
You don't have that option, or you've just never quite gotten into it?
Yeah, no. I mean, I could go for citizenship. I could have gone for it a long time ago. But we're keeping my British citizenship open just in case we happen to want to move for work or family business. You know?
Yeah. Is it the sort of thing in the States where if you take up American, then you can't have dual?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Right. That makes sense. Because, yeah, I'm sort of an Aussie in the UK because the wife and that's all British and that. But I've got now dual citizenship, so both English and Australian.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting the way that works out because that's the same thing my wife went through when because she's from Mexico, and so of course she had to walk away from Mexican citizenship to have American citizenship, but our kids can have dual citizenship. Like, all right, whatever. Like, okay.
Yeah, it's weird how they make that legal, but
it's one of those whatever scenarios. Like, well, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna I've just got my little warning that my thingy's about to die, so I'm just gonna quickly pop downstairs. Just one.
All right,
sec.
stream's over, everybody.
Is that it? We got flagged. Talking politics, and now we're done.
That's exactly what happened. Look at that! My power's gone.
I was telling Family Bricks we did a 3-hour live stream build this morning and got taken offline due to community violation.
That's stupid.
Well, my fault. I left my son alone while he was building. I had to run to the store, and my friend was online chatting with him. Bluegrass Bricks. He was on the stream with my son. But yeah, I was not present in the picture, so they flagged me for having a minor live streaming by themselves, and it was against community standards. And I understand. I'm not mad. But it's a 3-hour video that's no longer there.
Yeah, gotcha. I wonder if that's a thing that just like Matt was talking about, if that's some kind of really sophisticated AI, or if somebody was actually watching it like, oh, this seems unusual. I should probably click the old report button on this.
It must be a bot. I mean, I only had 3 viewers through the whole 3 hours. I'd seriously doubt someone from YouTube was actually watching. It's only the 3rd video we posted.
Yeah. I mean, I never try to question the motives of trolls. But I mean, that's kind of interesting. What if you just look really, really young and then the robot's like, oh, this is a child. It's like,
well, I watch live streams of other, YouTubers in kind of our kind of community that they are minors.
Yeah, they are.
They stream for hours.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not mad. It means they're watching out for the kids. I understand. I'll see if I can recover some of the footage. I don't think I had it recording through StreamYard at the time, so it may just be lost.
Is it still like in your YouTube studio? Like, can you see it on the back end?
It's in my StreamYard.
Wait, you said YouTube deleted it. Is that what you said?
Yeah, no, YouTube took the content out. So.
All right. I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I didn't have it recording at the same time we were going live, so.
Gotcha.
Are you using the free version of StreamYard or the paid one?
No, we're still on the free.
Okay, then. Because once you do the paid one, then if you're on that and happen to go to a different place like Twitch or Facebook, then there'd be a version of it there you could grab. But
it's the next step. It's one of the things we'll do if the channel gets any bigger, we start getting more interest in it. But right now it's just us playing around, really piggybacking on other feeds like this.
Hey, no shame in the game. No shame in the game.
At least you're not shy about it. So like, this is how it's working.
Yeah, we're small. We're just starting. So.
And what sort of things do you like to build, or what's your sort of thing? What do you want to sort of do content?
What do you want to do when you grow up?
Yeah, that's just it. I'm growing up for the second time with Lego, so I'm trying to rebuild my whole city and train collection that I unfortunately lost years ago. My kids are all over the place. They can't make 2 videos on the same theme if they save their lives.
Yeah.
Quickly, and shout out to Plastic Architect. I hope that you're going well. If you want to join, you don't have to. There should be a StreamYard link. Feel free. If not, that's cool.
Matt said the more people that are in the stream, the longer he will stream. So
I did not. I don't recall that. Evan, what are you doing?
I think you did say that. I think the record somebody get the transcript.
Wasn't it said earlier this was the new 72-hour live stream?
That's what I saw.
We'll just keep switching out YouTube channels, so he has to stay on.
Yeah, I'm just going into BFAB mode now, so I can do that now.
Oh, good. Okay.
So you're gonna go take a nap now?
Oh, you got to start. I mean, if you want to really get into the BFAB mode, you have to you need to have a bunch of different avatars so you can keep changing on the ready. There we go. We can do that one. We can have a little bit more serious conversation.
You know, the next question is going to follow from this is, how are you doing that?
Witchcraft. Do you not know how to? You don't know how to do that?
I'm sure it's probably in like a setting somewhere I've never explored, but
yeah, it's just on the bottom when you see the little 3 dots on your icon. You can say edit audio avatar.
Let me have a look. Radio then.
And then you can add in. There's a limit. I don't remember how many, but you can have like 6 images or something like that.
So if I just change that across, let me hit that there. Yeah, there's me spewing Lego.
Yeah, you should get that looked at. What's up, Mike B? Too cool for school.
And Claire, I can't do it today, but next time. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just doing these, like literally this is the first time I've done this sort of informal thing. So it's kind of just pop up and random. But yeah, no, anytime if I happen to be there and you want to, just by all means, feel free. And I'll say that to everyone who's obviously already joined as well. That's kind of the plan, the intent. I don't know.
Are you planning to do this like this is a thing?
We'll see how it goes. It's the sort of thing where I normally try to, between kids and everything, get most of the work stuff done overnight and then have like an hour or two to try to do something. And it's sort of like, well, I'll just see if anybody else is out there.
I think I've already convinced myself that you don't sleep though. Because I mean, you're you're like 6 hours difference of me, I think.
Yeah.
East Coast time. So you're 6 hours in, and it's like, I mean, it's 7 o'clock at night for me, and I'm like, okay. And I see you all the time, and when I'm up early, like I get up at 6 a.m. every day, and you know, obviously you're up. I'm like, I don't think that human sleeps. I think he is just working on a different plane of existence.
Yeah, so let's keep it that way.
Good for you. You teach me that when it suits you, you need to bottle that formula.
Well, I think I try to catch up on sleep on a Sunday, and much to my wife's tolerance, I guess you could say, I do manage to get a bit of a sleep in. But that's about it. But because every other day it's like school and stuff like that, and then even on Saturday the kids have got to get up early for their they have a piano class, which they're doing online now. But you know, that's still, you know, that still ticks off at like 8:30. So it's like,
yeah. I did that back in the day. I told you that before, Matt. I used to play the piano.
Did you? Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Did you get far with the grading, or where'd you get to?
Well, it's interesting because I started it when I was in elementary school. So I think I was in maybe third grade, and I did it all through through fifth grade. And I mean, I did the whole thing, right? I had like the piano teacher, and I go every week for lessons, and I had the recitals every year, and I had both an electric keyboard in my room, and then I had a not a fancy piano, but like a proper piano in the living room. And when I went into middle school, so when I went into sixth grade, I chose to use all my free time to study art instead of playing the piano. So I stopped cold stop. I stopped piano and started devoting every waking moment to drawing and art. And then I never went back to piano.
And how, with hindsight, how do you feel about that?
I do kind of regret it. I feel like I probably could have done both, but my child brain was like, I can only do one thing. I remember my piano teacher was very sad when I said that I was going to stop. I mean, she respected it. My parents didn't care. They're like, whatever. And what's really interesting is I can sit down at any piano and I can still play the first couple notes of the Legend of Zelda theme. It's like, da, 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 da. Like I can still play that, even though I have not owned a keyboard or a piano probably in the last 20 years. But I can still sit down, and not just like the melody with the chords too. I can play that first little bar, and then I can't remember anything else. But that is like burned in my memory.
Yeah, I think I had another friend who did something similar and things like that, and they taught me the Simpsons. And part of that is like, I can always remember that.
I was all about any type of pop culture stuff. I was like, I mean, we can learn Mozart, but can I learn how to play the Star Wars theme? I did all of that.
Is that what you're teaching?
Everybody learns on the keyboard these days now?
Is the cool stuff. That's what gets the views.
Right? You're not playing that or Mario. Are you even really a musician?
I had an agreement with my parents every year when we did the recital that I could play whatever song I wanted as long as I would usually play two. Each student would play two. And one of them had to be classical. So I would play one classical, and then one year the other song was the Pink Panther theme. Another year one was classical, the other one was the Star Wars theme. One year I was feeling particularly ambitious, and I made my own Legend of Zelda melody, which was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 Zelda tunes stitched together. But they were always like, we don't know what that second one was, but the first one was good. I was like, whatever. I wish I had a keyboard. I'd like to play again.
Would you have time?
I would. I think for that, I would find a way. I might have to clone myself, but that's fine.
Mr. Hinkle Plays.
Yeah. Hey, that's already what I was thinking about for my gaming channel. Don't start spilling all my secrets.
Hey, I can listen to Zelda songs all day.
There you see. Look at that. I already got one potential subscriber.
Subscriber.
Are we playing like Nintendo games, or are we playing modern games?
The real games, Nintendo games.
Exactly.
I would love to play retro, like Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. I think I would stop at GameCube. I think that's as current as I would go. But I would love to do that. It'd be awesome. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kevin coming back to you with a little Mario 64 gameplay.
So you haven't thought of about this at all?
Not in the least. Not in the least.
Yeah. I think this set's actually missing a piece, which, given that there's only like 100 pieces here, how can that be?
I think, is that a user error?
There hasn't been long enough to have user error. That's the problem.
That's the secret. It doesn't take too long to have a user error.
Usually it's in the bag in the trash can.
Yeah, in a corner of the bag. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the bags, like, they never make it to the bin until the build is done. For that reason, it's like, no, I'm just double checking. Nothing there.
Here's the process. Here is the steps of missing a piece. I think I'm missing a piece. You look through the pile. You sift around. You move the parts from left to right. You go, not here. Let me check the bag. So you go look at one of the little pre-packs. It's not in there. You're like, well, that's odd. Let me look in the box. You look in the box. It's not there. If it's a vehicle, you're like, well, maybe it went inside the tire. So you get the tire and you look at it. It's not in there. And you go, well, I think I really am missing a piece. And then you find it right there in the pile where you started.
Yeah, I've done all that. The one that you forgot was that you pick up the instruction book and give that a shake.
Oh, yeah.
So that it's not under it or in it.
The best part, though, is when you're finished and it really is just sitting directly.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an absolutely critical one, so it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to kind of move on.
Right?
You know, when you're doing that, and in the back of your mind, it's still there. And have a good one, Claire. Catch you around next time. Thanks for stopping by.
Take care.
See you later.
I think I got the DVD upstairs.
Don't worry, Matt will still be live in 24 hours from now.
Look, I need somebody like BFAB to be paying me for it.
Yeah, I mean, I would stream. If I'm getting paid, let's do it.
Like, I just love how he's so unapologetic about it. So, like, stream's over, delete.
That's great. That's awesome.
I guess it protects you from people like Doc.
Protects you from people like Doc. Well, he's technically a whatnot.
Okay, yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Protects you from whatnots like Doc.
I know that if I talk for long enough, I just put my foot in my mouth. So
that's great, though. Somebody, it was a Brickhead family. On the Brickhead family stream, he was there, and baby Brickhead, the little girl, she said, so, she's like, he's a puppet, and he's like, actually, we prefer whatnot. It's just like super offended. She's like, I don't think you're real. He's like, of course I'm real.
I'm talking to you right now, right?
I'm here. I'm in real life. I'm speaking with you. She's like, let me see your hands. And he started waving his hands around. It's pretty good.
I'm trying to think, because I was streaming with someone a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, they was it Moto? Or maybe it's somebody else. But anyhow, they called Doc something that Doc shouldn't have been called, and apparently he laid into them for a good 5 minutes to correct them on where they should be saying.
That's right. He's got to stand up for himself.
I don't want to be that guy.
Got to be respectful.
Also that sort of thing, like when you move around, like lived in a couple different countries for various periods of time, and there's some things which are culturally very sensitive and you're never sure what they are, and sometimes you find them out the hard way.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's probably a wonderful delight.
Yes.
Oops, I have offended you. I am sorry.
Oh, I've just called you the worst thing known to man. Oh, great. Okay, I'm really sorry.
I'll just see myself out.
I'm just one of these crazy Aussies. We haven't got a clue at the best of times. But it's still bugging me that this piece isn't here.
Oh, it's there. Somewhere.
No. Now there's a hinkle in the background chastising me over it.
Yeah, there is.
So I got your head there, Kevin, that you sent out.
Oh, very good, very good.
But I still gotta acquire the hair. So right now you're just a bald fig.
That's fine. I mean, that's not terribly far from the near future. Yeah, you just got to get one of those combed black hair part.
Yeah, I've got the brown for my own fig, but I need the black one, right?
Yeah, that's the quote unquote. That's the proper
Right.
hair.
Right.
But you can customize it however your heart desires.
So right now you're sporting the freshly cut hair, you know.
What's the weirdest thing you've seen done with your sig fig, Kevin?
Oh.
Seems like a lot of question.
I mean, I've seen a lot of very interesting things. I think probably the one that I don't know how I felt about it, but then also because it was from like a very young, a very young early teenager, I'm like, all right, you're a kid, I get it. But somebody they took off my head and they replaced it with like the trash bag element because I think it could go on the neck. So like it looks like my head is in like a hood, right? Like you got like a sack over my head. And they put me on the ground and they put a whole bunch of guys with guns around me. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but you're also like a teenager, so whatever. But I mean, they were obviously very excited to show me because they went out of their way to like, look, did you see what I did? I'm like, all right. Well, you did that.
Here, I've got you as some drug lord criminal about to be shot to pieces.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
I'm like, that is just wonderful.
Is that how you feel with Lego right now?
Well, no, I don't have a hateful bone in my body.
Well, I didn't say you were the one being hateful.
That's true. But I've seen a lot of other more comical violence with my figure. Like, oh, look, I'm being eaten by an alligator. Oh, look, I'm being, tortured in the dungeon. Oh, look, I'm on a pirate ship. Like all kinds of, and it's kind of funny. It's like, oh, look, that's neat. That's why when I had them, I wanted to have the two different expressions because, something I was thinking about, I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to give these out, people are going to do whatever they want with it, regardless of what I want. So I would rather my character be in distress versus looking like they're having a really great time, being like, eaten alive or something.
It's like, yeah, here's my voodoo doll. Be gentle.
Yeah, it's like, can I at least look like I'm not having a great time?
Hey guys, I appreciate the chat. I have to jump off though. It's time for me to.
It's that time, huh?
Time. Cool.
Yeah,
well, thanks for
bath time.
Gotcha.
Thanks for jumping on and being in the chat early. Appreciate that. And yeah, like I said, if whenever I'm randomly doing this again, if you want to jump in, more than welcome to.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was nice hanging out for a few minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
have a good
Excellent.
night.
Have a
All
good
right,
one.
good night, guys.
Take care, Ine.
And then there were 3.
Oh yeah. Long haul.
Is that on the right way? Because how's how's the homeschooling going with your kid? But then it's sort of like, maybe don't want to talk about that.
Well, so actually this week, starting tomorrow, my son's going back to 4 days a week in school. So
Okay.
he'll be going Monday, Tuesday, at home Wednesday, and then going Thursday and Friday. So that's obviously exciting for me because that's a bunch of work time I gain back again. But hopefully my fellow parents don't mess this up again and actually take care of everybody and make sure everybody's wearing masks. And if their kids if they keep them at home and not send them to school. That's what happened last time. Because
Really?
the kids went back to full-time school, I think for 2 weeks. And then people weren't reporting and kids got sick and then they had to go back to homeschooling. I'm like, really, guys? Come on. It's like you guys are doing your level best at ensuring this lasts for as long as humanly possible, aren't you?
Yeah. Congratulations.
So we'll see. But that's
Yeah.
exciting, though. I'm excited to get that time back.
Yeah, well, that, and is this your eldest or your youngest?
Youngest, because my eldest is already done. He graduated last year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember you having some. I think you had some pics on socials about that.
Yep. I'm glad they did something because it was. I wasn't expecting anything to happen. I mean, that was like peak lockdown.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I guess he's not getting anything. But they did have a little ceremony, but it was just like there was nobody there. It had to be like just the family and him and the principal. So, like, all right, oh well,
Yeah.
better than nothing.
Yeah, better than nothing. It's yeah, doing streaming like this and things like it's cool and everything. But then when you start like doing funerals on YouTube, that is weird.
That is very weird.
It's like. But it's kind of funny because then on the flip side too, it's sort of like you're looking at it and it's like, actually, there's the one which we went to, they had like a 3-camera setup, so they're constantly chopping around and everything like that, and it was actually really well done. So like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't. So I've lost in my extended family. I've lost 2. I've lost my grandfather last year. And that was kind of rough. And then I lost my uncle this year. And I don't think either of them had like a live streamed funeral, but they had like a church service that was live streamed. My grandfather's though was rough because again, he was like right in the middle of everything where literally my grandmother was allowed to be there and that was the end. So she was by herself while, and I mean, this is all in Texas, so I'm nowhere near them, but it's like, really? Like, I mean, he's already gone. But it's like they couldn't allow more than, I think they had a max of 5 family members were allowed to be there at the service.
Yeah.
Because again, that was like peak time. So
Peak
it was
time.
like, it's like, well, this is interesting.
Yeah, one of mine was in Australia, and it's like, yep, there's no chance you're even.
Yeah.
But it's just not. Because if you go to Australia, you automatically have 14 days in a government quarantine facility.
Yeah.
Like that. That's just it. You are off the plane, taken in an isolated vehicle to the government facility where you'll be for 2 weeks.
Yeah. You are not to collect $200. You are to go directly to the facility.
Well, quite the opposite. You get to pay $3,000 per person.
Oh,
for the
yay.
experience. Yes.
Oh.
It's
Wow.
It's
crazy stuff. Crazy times,
Yeah.
I was going back through my photos recently because I think I'm about to get a new phone. So I've been trying to go through my phone photo. There's thousands of photos on this stupid thing. But I went back to last end of last February of 2020 when because I took photos at the grocery store because I remember there was a weekend. I'm sure this happened everywhere, but like there was like a weekend when things went haywire. Like end of February, like very last week or like beginning of March. And I remember I went to my local grocery store, which is it's a chain, but it's a small grocery store, and like 75% of the store was empty.
Yep.
And I have photos in my phone of like all the butcher section and like every meat product is gone. And I have like all the paper products aisle, like the entire from end to end, no toilet paper, no paper towels, no paper plates, no nothing. The eggs and the milk gone. And I was like sitting there going, wow, like that was a apocalypse, like the end of times is coming photographs in there. And then I don't usually shop for groceries at Walmart, but I remember having to leave my grocery store and going to the Walmart because they didn't have a lot of stuff I needed. And then the Walmart had nothing. And I'm like, okay, are we about to die? It's like when Walmart doesn't have stuff, I think I'm concerned.
Yeah. That's the thing. Once once the Walmart has been hit, it's like, okay, now we're into some serious. And yeah, it's funny you should mention that because I remember where we have a couple of our holiday homes. It's 75 minutes drive away from us, and I was down there and I was just doing some maintenance sort of things, and you were starting to get an inkling that something wasn't quite right, like what you said in February. It was kind of the weekend before everything kind of went really nuts. I went down to the local, the massive supermarket down there, which feeds the whole area and everything like that. And it was a school day, and it must have been like 2:30 in the afternoon, and the car park was just packed. And it's like, this is really bizarre. And then you walk in, and there's just people everywhere, and the same sort of thing. It's like there is nothing on the shelves anywhere. And
it's a very disconcerting moment. It's just like it's like a weird, like out of self experience. It's like what? Like, yeah, I mean, obviously you're living it and you're seeing it, but it just feels surreal. And it's like, should I be getting my fallout shelter ready? Like I'm so. What am I supposed to be doing right now?
Yeah, what are we meant to be doing here? Because most countries generally don't like. I get it, like in Texas and I'm going to say Midwest. I'm probably completely screwing it up, but obviously where you've got a lot of your tornado sort of country, where you've got those underground shelters and everything, people kind of prepared for that. Whereas I think the closest you get here is you've obviously got the old bomb shelters from World War II, but most of those have been converted into outbuildings or garden sheds or whatever else. So there's no sort of, you don't have that same level of, okay, the apocalypse might come one day. Are we ready? It's like, okay, it's here now, and those people who you thought were crazy might actually have been onto something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just weird. There were some weird moments thinking back on it, and again looking through the photos and stuff, going like, "Wow, all right." And you know what? Another one for me was watching the news, and when they had the live feed of Times Square, and there was not a single human being there. That, like I remember watching that because we didn't exactly do things correctly in the United States of America, but for the first like 2 or 3 weeks, everything was like off. That was it, just then. But in that time, I remember they had the live feed of Times Square, and it was completely abandoned. I think I remember seeing one police officer like strolling. And I was like, that is something I don't believe I should be seeing. Like, I mean, that place is packed at 1 a.m. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. No, it's not. Yeah, Doc, I know. It's not over at all. but it's just like it's kind of surreal.
Yeah, and this I was gonna put some words together, but even there is failing me now. So I'll probably mess something up trying to be funny. So I'll just say nothing.
I'll probably mess it up trying to be funny. That's okay because you are officially funny with that statement. So good job. Good work.
But yeah. Anyhow, getting back to that missing piece. Yeah, not so missing.
Oh, did you find it?
Where'd you find that?
It was turned over. It's one of those little, I don't know what they call them, golds, or the bullion type ones. I'm probably not gonna. So,
Oh, okay.
So it was turned upside down, and I was there just thinking it was like a 2x1 flat tile or something like that. Didn't occur to me to actually try to flip it over and look properly at it. But but I remember reading somewhere about 6 months ago when they were talking about the number of what was it, Lego sets which are claimed to have had missing minifigures, or just missing pieces. And it was funny how it was like more tended towards the Star Wars ones happen to have missing minifigures and all those sorts of things. And it's like,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny what would happen with those, but I mean, you've probably seen the other side of that too, Kevin, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, every kid is missing a Darth Vader figure out of every Star Wars set. It's amazing. Like, oh, it's missing again. Oh, whoops. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Star Wars, and then also superheroes. Lots of like DC and Marvel. For some reason, even though the minifigure elements are all spread across multiple bags, the whole Spider-Man was missing. It's very unusual.
Yeah, I must admit I did notice that with this Miles Morales Spider-Man one. So like the head was in this bag, the hood was in that one, and then the body was in this one.
And yet it was all missing. It's so weird.
It's so weird. And
they switched that it was many years ago at this point, but I mean they did used to have them all like in one bag because it would be like part of your building experience. Like you build all the minifigs first and then you move on. But they switched it up. But they switched it up for a couple. When Lego does anything, they don't do anything for one reason. There's usually a little list of reasons they do it. But one of the things was try to crack down on the whole abuse of missing pieces, because if you're spreading the pieces out and everything, it's highly unlikely, albeit maybe even impossible, to truly be missing a whole figure because of how spread out it is. Also, theft. There's a lot of people that buy Lego sets, take out the minifig elements, and then return the set, and it's or even just steal it in the store if it's a small box.
Yeah.
Crack it open, and it's harder to do that if it's like, well, only the head's in this bag and only the body's in that one and the legs, So, but yeah, still to this day, people still somehow miss entire Spider-Man and entire, it's like, all right.
All right, we'll just mark your account for later on. Oh, you seem to run into this problem quite frequently and repetitively. Exactly.
Yeah. The people that don't think that they're monitoring that, yep, I got bad news for you.
Well, that's the thing I sometimes worry about. Like when generally there's, I think in the 1989 Batmobile, it was missing like one of those 2x3 black slope pieces. Like it was a big piece. And there's been a few other sets, and occasionally I'll go to them and try to get the piece or whatever else. But I do wonder sometimes, because I generally never buy anything from Lego.com, because anytime I have, it's never arrived without 2 phone calls to customer service, which I just don't have the time for. So I could imagine then they're sort of looking, it's like, well, you're claiming these pieces, but you don't actually ever buy anything off us. And it's like, yeah, no, I don't buy from you. I buy from everywhere else but you. Like,
you don't understand. You're the problem.
Because even this vintage car promo, I had ordered what was it? Something back on the Black Friday sales in November. This turned up last week, and it wasn't even the right promo. Like the other thing which I ordered with the set, this was meant to be the Charles Dickens promo, but it's obviously hit the border because of Brexit or whatever else, and then it's gone back to Belgium, and then they've swapped it out for something different because they've had to redo the order.
Oh my goodness.
And so then this came rather than the Dickens promo. So
That sounds
it's
miserable.
it's one of those things where at some stage I'll give them a call, but it's like I just don't have the will to sit there for an hour trying to explain to them. Like, and I know some people have, but
yeah. You know what you could do, because you're jiving on these skits right now. You can do a fake Lego customer call. Thank you for calling the Lego Group. Your call is very important to us. And you can you'll figure out something funny with that.
Oh yeah. No, I've something similar. Like you're saying, you got your notebooks and things like that. I've got a whole list of different ideas and things like that, and partially written out scripts, and like even those ones which appear as like 1 minute shorts. There's probably 4 or 5 minutes worth of content which I've originally written. And it's sort of like, okay, which is kind of the funnier jokes, which makes sense, or what's the payoff here?
Yeah.
But yeah, you
can, if you wanted to, you can keep using the chief marketing Muppet, because something that Lego does do, not everybody takes advantage of it, but they do it, is that they encourage like the executives and stuff to spend a day working in customer service so that, you're close to the customer and know what it's like. So there are times when like executive vice presidents and stuff are on the phone. A lot of them, of course, somehow don't find the time to do it. But you could have a reappearance of that character. It's like, today you're going to sit on the phones and learn what it's like to answer customer service calls.
Service calls. Yeah, no, that sounds brilliant, and it's sort of, out of all that sort of stuff, like the Chief Muppet or whatever it was always something which, whenever I've mentioned it, like in other contexts, people have always found really funny. So it's like, yeah, I had to put that one in, and that would be a reoccurring character. And it was funny because then in the comments, it was Doc came along in one of them, and it's like, how did they get the job over me? And it's like, they're more incompetent than you.
They're more, yeah, your level, you are too competent
for what you do.
You're gonna have to dial that down a little bit.
Yeah. But I sometimes worry that I'm just way too cynical, and it's like, yeah, I've done a couple. I'll take a breather and come back to it later.
I love it.
But in the back of my mind, it's all like, if I've ever need more material, it's like, well, I could just go and listen to the Forever Sorting podcast. I'm sure I'll find something very quickly.
You really could. I mean, hey, it's there for it's ripe for the picking.
For the pillaging.
Have you listened to that whole show?
I've listened to some of it, because by the time I first came across it, because I only came out of the Lego Dark Age, I think you're pretty much winding up the series. So It's like there's a whole lot of podcasting there to go back through.
Yeah, there is. That's true. Very true.
Because I think, much like when we did the interview, God, that must be coming up to almost a year ago now.
Hey, time flies when you're, in total collapse.
Yeah. I think even then you were sort of saying, like, you'd been out of it for a couple of years by that stage, and things were starting to blur and not really be all over the place. So it's probably a little bit more closer to the time that it happened or something. Anyhow, I don't know. It's the word thing again. I'll just go read a comment instead. Doc, Kevin looks pretty raw on Brian's podcast.
Did he actually? Let me see. Did that episode finally get uploaded? Let's see. We recorded that forever ago. Let me look. Podcast. Let's see. Oh, it's not on here yet. He didn't put it on the YouTube channel. Did he put it somewhere else? Is it on the website? You know what's funny, Doc, is that I thought it was going to be audio only, because I was not informed that it was going to be video. So I had to like at the last second, I had to like put my camera up. I had to like comb my hair. I was like, I thought it was audio only.
Oh, there we go. Brian showed a preview.
Okay. Yeah, we recorded it like a month and a half ago. It's like 6 weeks ago or something.
It's kind of funny, Doc, because we were joking a bit earlier that I think it was in the context of BFAB that as soon as the stream was over, he pulled it down so that the Doc Samsons on the world couldn't grab it. But now it sounds like you're getting ahead of the game and getting into the previews.
Oh yeah, Doc's an expert in his field. Let me tell you. All right, there is no safety. You need to be on your A game at all times.
And Doc, I don't think you were in earlier, but we saw the obviously left some comments on the tech Christmas one, and the way that Doc was being drunk. That is some of the funniest stuff I think I've seen you do. That was brilliant.
You know, pretty much the only way you can guarantee that Doc's not going to roast you or throw you to the wolves is if you go out of your way to be like, "Hey, Doc, you should talk about me on the virtual news. You should like cover me." You hear that? Like if you like that is like a surefire way to be ignored. Like and you're out. That's not how
That's not how it works. Although at the moment, so many people streaming, and it's good that it had the 72-hour winter stream there, because you're sort of like, okay, that's going to take hours and days out of Doc's life to be distracted with that lot. You're safe for a month.
Yeah, I've seen so many like I think it's safe to say younger. I've seen so many younger folks be like pretty much begging Doc to like cover them in his stuff. It's like, yeah, you're not gonna. All right, that's not how this works. You will not be making it that way.
I'm not happening with that. No. Yeah, I think it's starting to approach and creep up to 1 a.m. here. So
so you're just getting started.
Here I was. I'll just come on and stream for about an hour. Over 2 hours later, from what I can see, it's the usual sort of thing.
This is the Matt special.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and I was thinking about doing this more regularly. Might have to rethink this one.
Yeah, you rethink that mighty quick.
So, cool. Thanks for jumping on, Kevin, and being in the chat. And also to Brick Fellows. Great to have you in. And yeah, it's it looks like A&A Hobbies has popped back up in the chat. So yeah, like I said, I'm probably just randomly going to do these from time to time. So if it pops up, you guys want to come in or just pop by the chat or anything like that, that'd be awesome. And yeah, thanks for coming along tonight. I'll just do the quick little thing. Is Kevin, you want to give something of yours a plug?
Oh, sure. So yes, if you haven't seen on the social media stuff, if you don't follow me on social media, I've got a whole bunch of Lego inspired artwork. So we're talking small art prints, large art prints, stickers. And unfortunately, the big bad Lego company has said I can't do that anymore. So I'm trying to really kind of blow through it all and be done with it. But I can't list it on Etsy. So that's really complicated for me. But if you want to reach out to me directly, you can shoot me a DM. You can shoot me an email. I've got photos of it everywhere. There's pictures of all my work. But if you are interested in getting any of that Lego inspired stuff before it no longer exists anymore, just hit me up. Other than that, I'm everywhere. You may find me anywhere you are looking.
And Kevin also does his Friday morning draw stream at 10 a.m. Eastern, is it?
Correct. It is 10 a.m. Eastern every Friday. This Friday is the multiplayer. So this is the one that you were excited about, Matt, because our theme is comic book characters.
Yeah, no, that should be a good one. So looking forward to that one. Excellent.
Sure, makes my Friday mornings go by quickly.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, as my wife and I and my daughter are getting ready to go off about a day, we turn it on and just let you play in the background. It's a nice kind of, hey, it's Friday. Let's just relax.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you.
It beats having to listen to my morning corporate calls. So,
ugh. How about this? How about one time I'll do a theme and I'll theme it corporate conference calls, and that'll be the theme. It'll be like, it's like, all right, who's got the quarterly finance report? We're gonna do that as the next drawing.
Oh wait, I was on mute. I was double muted, or
you've got someone being all animated but no voice. It's like you're on mute.
I couldn't hear you.
Cool. And Brickfeller, where can people find you online, and what can they look forward to seeing from you?
I spend most of my time on Instagram, and also just a general supporter for pretty much any Lego streamer on YouTube. But I do pop in on Twitch every once in a while. So, but anything by Brickfella or the Brickfella, you'll find me.
Professional hype man.
Pretty much.
I love it. We need more hype people.
Cool.
I can never hold a candle to Doc, but you know.
If you hold a candle to Doc,
it might cause a fire.
Yeah, don't do that.
There's so many words escaping again. How do I not put my foot in? I wonder if there's a flammable warning somewhere nearby.
Uh-oh. Better end it before you say something.
Yeah, exactly. Quickly wind it up. And yeah, ANA Hobbies, thanks for stopping by. Because we actually had ANA, was it Bricks? Oh, sorry, I'm just on earlier. So cool. And yeah, just me. I'm probably going to do a couple more of these random ones just whenever. So anyone is welcome to jump on. I think I put the link in there. I'm sure one day there'll be a troll or something. I'll regret that. But anyhow, otherwise, this Saturday is 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. New York time. I'm actually going to do a proper kind of Lego building stream themed on monorail. So that's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, otherwise, thanks everyone for being around, and we'll talk to you very soon. Take it easy.
Bye, everybody.
Where's the end button?
Take care. Happy building.
Where's the end?